Picking up a distress call, Captain. Well then, I guess it's up to us.
Risk is part of the game. You want to sit in that chair.
Helm, lay in an intercept course and engage at maximum warp.
Greetings once again, my fellow Star Trek fans. I got a little treat for you today. It's been a little while since I did a Diamond Select ship, but that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do Diamond Select, and we're going to go back to Star Trek Generations. Now, those of you that follow my channel, you know that, well, one of my favorite Star Trek films is Star Trek 3. What I hate about it is the destruction of the U.S.S. Enterprise. But what I love about it are the effects and the shots of the ship. When I actually use the model, I think it's got some of the most beautiful shots of the Enterprise. Well, with the movie I'm going to talk about today, Generations, there's a couple of things that I really do not like in this movie. And this is a spoiler alert. Those of you that have not seen it yet. Not only do we have to deal with the destruction of the U.S.S. Enterprise, NCC-1701-B, but we have to deal with the death of Captain Kirk. Where Mr. Spock is brought back in Star Trek 3, and he goes on to live, well, Vulcans live a long time, and you can see him throughout Star Trek The Next Generation. But Captain Kirk ends up dying while in the Nexus, and that's something that I'm not too crazy about. So I do like Generations, but it's probably my least favorite movie with the original crew. This is kind of like a passing of the torch between the Star Trek original series movies to Star Trek The Next Generation. So it was kind of like a transition of characters. Of course, we're introduced to Dr. Soren. He's trying to get the Nexus Cloud he's trying to alter the course of the Nexus Cloud because he would be able to go back into it and go back into to be with his family again. With the Enterprise B, we open up, and the Enterprise B is actually being christened. Now, this is after the decommission of the Enterprise A. So we see the Enterprise B, it's being commissioned, and of course there's media on the bridge and all kinds of things, and Captain Kirk is an honored guest, along with Mr. Scott, let's see, Dr. McCoy. There were a couple of others, but the original cast is there on the Enterprise B, and they're getting ready to depart on the break-in or the run-in voyage, or the maiden voyage. Anyway, they get a distress signal, and they come in contact with Dr. Soren, and ultimately the Nexus ribbon ends up destroying part of the B, the Enterprise B, and that section happens to be where Captain Kirk had gone down to try to fix the ship. So to make a long story short, he's caught up in a Nexus. So next thing he knows, he's looking around and he's making eggs and he's doing all kinds of things where he had regrets of going in to the Starfleet Academy. Actually, not Starfleet Academy, continuing in Starfleet. He was making eggs for his girlfriend or his woman to lessen or soften the blow. And ultimately, he ends up dying in the Nexus. That's why this is probably one of my least favorite. I do like Star Trek The Next Generation and those films, but this one, I like it because it's Star Trek, the original series characters, and Star Trek The Next Generation, but it was kind of a depressing movie for me. Anyway, without rambling anymore, I want to show you today's subject. We have the Diamond Select, Starship Legends. It's been a while since I showed you guys a Diamond Select video. And this is the battle-damaged version of the NCC-1701-B. So this is after it gets damaged by the Nexus. You can see battle-damaged. Features all the following phrases and sound effects. You can see all of the great sound clips. You can see the the damage as well. Pretty big Starship. So that's the front of the box. You look at the top and you can see it's clear as well. And it just has the Star Trek Starship Legends on it. The bottom of the box, same thing, Star Trek Starship Legends, and it's got a picture of the model. And it appears that this is the one that's not damaged. So they got the picture of the model on it that isn't damaged, and this one is. And then we look over to the ends of the box. Electronic Starship. I think it's the same on both sides. Yep. All right, so let's go to the back of the box. Star Trek Starship Legends. And again, this model looks like a model of the regular one version. You can see this was released in 2014. U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-B. Her length is 511 meters. She has 34 total decks. She's got a crew complement between 700 and 750, and her maximum speed is warp 9.4. And you can see some information on this beautiful ship. When the U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-A was decommissioned, the Excelsior class Enterprise B became the third ship commissioned by Starfleet to bear the famous name Enterprise. On its first official outing under the command of John Harriman, the ship was badly damaged by the Nexus ribbon while rescuing El-Orion refugees, resulting in the apparent death of the legendary Captain James T. Kirk. In spite of this tragedy, the 1701-B and her captain led an illustrious career, earning her place in history as a worthy heir to the name Enterprise. Again, you can see the model used was the original version. I think this probably came out first, but I'm not sure. So let's put the camera on the tripod and we'll get her out of the box. All right, so we got a nice picture of the box. I showed you guys all the sides, so why don't we go ahead and get her out so we can show you guys what she does. I had actually forgotten about this one. It's in a section of my collection where I thought that I had done all the items, but I guess I had forgotten about this one. And I just happened to be going through that area, and I had said, oh, I don't remember doing this one. Okay, so let's get her out of the box. Let's see if we can put the box as a background, if it'll allow us to. Probably not. We'll put it over there for now. Okay, so you can see the usual diamond select tied up. So then the cells are tied, and it looks like the secondary hull is tied too. So let's get her out of the packaging. Oh, look at that, huh? Beautiful Starship. Let's see, you can see right over there where Captain Kirk was taken, the Nexus ribbon hit. Beautiful ship. You can see it's got the little ball and socket for the stand, but this does not come off. So like with other diamond selects, you have the option of having two bottoms where you can put one on. It's got the part for the stand, or you've got the one where you can display it or hang it that doesn't have it. What I like about this one is this is the pin that goes in as opposed to the ball. The ball that never seems to fit into the socket. So this one we'll be able to put on the stand a little easier. So let's put her down, and I'll get the stand out. Okay, so looking at we got the classic shark fin kind of stand. And we have the Delta insignia, the Starfleet logo. Let's see if there's anything written on the inside. It says 2013 CBS. So this probably was with the original ship, the original model that was not battle damaged. And you can see there are two slots that the shark fin kind of fit into the edges of the Delta insignia. And just like that, the stand is ready. And again, what I like about this kind of stand is it's got this, look at the head with the pan or the cylinder on it, and it goes right in, no problems, to the ship, just like that. And the ball socket is already in there, so you can position it any way you want. So let's take it for a test drive before I show you the paperwork.
I'll go. You have the bridge.
Your place is on the bridge of your ship. I'll take care of it.
And of course, that's when Captain Kirk goes down. He does take care of it. He fixes it, and then the Nexus hits, and he ends up getting caught up in the Nexus.
Activate main deflector. I'm Captain John Harriman.
It wouldn't be the Enterprise without a Sulu at the helm.
That's when we find out that Mr. Sulu's daughter is actually on the Enterprise B.
Captain Kirk, I'd be honored if you'd give the order to get underway.
So after much prodding, Captain Kirk stands up and he says, "Take us out." And everybody starts clapping. It's a pretty comical moment.
Take us out.
Even the media, even on the Enterprise or in Starfleet, are still the in-your-face kind of media. You can see not only do the impulse engines light up, but you got the nacelles.
We're picking up a distress call, Captain.
Of course, they weren't prepared for that.
Well then, I guess it's up to us.
Risk is part of the game. You want to sit in that chair.
Helm, lay in an intercept course and engage at maximum warp.
So let's see if the deflector dish lights up. Yep. It wouldn't be Diamond Select without the deflector dish lighting. Okay, let's take a quick look at the paperwork that came with her. And of course, I'll put pictures up of the instructions and the paperwork, like I do with everything. Okay, the first thing I see is we got the Diamond Select pamphlet for things for sale. I love looking at these. The Enterprise, the high definition Enterprise. I do not have that one yet. I've shown you guys the Enterprise D. I've shown you guys the Wrath of Khan Enterprise. I've shown you guys the All Good Things version of the Enterprise D. I've shown you guys the Klingon Bird of Prey. I did not show you guys the Enterprise E because I do not have that one yet. But on the back, let's see, I've shown you two tricorders. I've shown you Dr. McCoy's. That's this one right here. And I've shown you Mr. Spock's, which is this one on this side. Let's see. I've shown you guys the hand phasers. I don't have the geological tricorder. That'd be pretty cool. I have shown you the phaser with the communicator, the package, and that was a gold handle phaser. And I do not have the Klingon disruptor. I've shown you guys the Playmates version of the Klingon disruptor. And that's everything that's in the pamphlet. I love going through these pamphlets because it means more Star Trek stuff to get. Okay, so looking at the instructions themselves, Star Trek, U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-B. Replacing the batteries. The ship uses 3 AA batteries. Battery compartment is located on the bottom back. Replace the batteries if the sounds or lights become weak or distorted. Use a screwdriver, not included, to open a battery compartment door and insert 3 new AAA batteries. You can see where it's located. You can tell just by looking at it because it's got the screw. You can see the switch. Batteries must be replaced by an adult. So see, you know, it's funny because these, I don't know any kids that have these. I think these were made for us, you know, the diehard, crazy, really, really diehard Star Trek fans. You can see the switch from the play me or try me mode to play. And then you have the off position. But what I'm going to do is when I store them, I take the batteries completely out to avoid damage. And we get to the play pattern. So you can see when you push the bridge, press the bridge dome on the top of the saucer section is shown to cycle sound effects and light sequences. Press and hold down the button for 3 seconds for continuous activation of all lights. Lights will shut down and the ship will return to play mode when the button is pressed again. Please note the proper function, the ship must be in play mode from the off position. Okay, so there is no try me mode. It was off or on. Diamond select, and this is 2013. So this basically is the instructions. There's nothing on the back. So I'll go ahead, I'll take you off the tripod, and I'll show you up close the Enterprise B.
You have the bridge.
All right, first looking at a saucer section, you can see, going over, you see the windows, the registry markings, B and C decks under the bridge, all the way back to the impulse engines. And you can see, like, this is the Excelsior class, so it looks very much like the U.S.S. Excelsior. We first saw her in Star Trek III, The Search for Spock. Bringing her to the back, you can see the secondary hull looks a little different. It's not as round, it's more flat and elongated. And the nacelle pylons have that kind of U shape, squared off U shape, as the saucer pylon. The way it's put together, it looks a little more rugged and solid to support the bridge, the saucer section. You can see the damage underneath. Of course, trying to...
Your place is on the bridge of your ship. I'll take care of it.
Actually, while I go around and give you the tour, let's put the button down to activate the lights. There, it'll be a little easier now. So, do the flyover. Her impulse engines, going back to the Bassard collectors, the nacelle pylons, and the aft end of the ship. Show you the underneath of the saucer section. You can see where the damage areas are. And this is the shot in the movie where we see the damage for the first time. You guys remember they're all standing there looking out after the force field had taken a hold. And then they realized if there is anyone in there. And that's when it's discovered that it was Captain Kirk. Coming around to the starboard side, you see the damage of the nacelles. And NCC-1701-B. It's a pretty ship. At first, I wasn't too crazy about the Excelsior class, only because the Excelsior was being praised, and it seemed like in Star Trek 3, the Enterprise was being kind of disrespected, making way for the newer ships. But ultimately, the Excelsior is a pretty ship with the trans-warp drive that didn't work out in Star Trek 3. And turn her around to the port side. And you can see the damaged sections. And again, this is the same that was released as the regular version of the Enterprise B by Diamond Select. They just re-released it with the battle damage. Now, I'm not sure which one is more common, which one was produced more. I would think the original one, the one that's clean, would have more production, but I'm not sure. Let me show you where Captain Kirk was taken from the Nexus. United Federation of Planets. Again to the nacelle pylons, to the nacelles. It is a very pretty ship. Of course, I'm partial to her. I think she's the prettiest. But this is a very beautiful ship. And if you want to put the lights off, just push the button. So, let's run through what she says.
I'm Captain John Harriman.
It wouldn't be the Enterprise without a Sulu at the helm.
Captain Kirk, I'd be honored if you'd give the order to get underway.
Take us out.
We're picking up a distress call, Captain. Well then, I guess it's up to us.
Risk is part of the game. You want to sit in that chair.
Helm, lay in an intercept course and engage at maximum warp.
You can see that sound effect. She sounds very much like the Enterprise D going into warp.
I'll go. You have the bridge.
Your place is on the bridge of your ship. I'll take care of it.
Activate main deflector. You did it, Kirk! I'm Captain John Harriman.
It wouldn't be the Enterprise without a Sulu at the helm.
And that goes right back to the beginning cycle.
Captain Kirk, I'd be honored if you'd give the order to get underway.
Take us out.
Let's put the lights back on. So, my friends, that is the Enterprise B from Generations. And you guys may or may not know. Well, I'm sure you guys do know. But for those of you that don't know, Dr. Soren was actually in Clockwork Orange. You know that movie where they had the like the big eyelash on one of their eyes? He was actually, and I'm not remembering that guy's name, but I'll put it up on the screen because it's an interesting tidbit. But Generations sees the destruction of the Enterprise D, as well as the death of Captain James T. Kirk. So that in itself means it's not going to be high up on my list of fun movies to watch. It's definitely not fun. Like Star Trek 3 was not fun, But the pictures of the Enterprise, to me, the video footage was amazing. I'm not a big fan of CGI. I think the CGI looks so just fake. The models, at least it looks like the ship is tangible, like there really is something there. That's just my opinion. But I always like the models better. Matter of fact, they had redone the original series, and they replaced the Enterprise with all of the CGI. What I would rather have had them do was use the footage of the model and restore that instead. I think that would have been better. Again, that's just my opinion. I'm partial to the Enterprise, NCC-1701. This and the refit, I consider them the same ship. Just absolutely gorgeous. But this, my friends, was the Diamond Select Star Trek Generations U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-B from the movie Star Trek Generations. Beautiful ship. If you guys haven't seen it, you should check it out. And this is the battle damaged version. I don't have the regular version as of yet, anyway. So I hope you enjoyed this quick little video showing you the Enterprise B. And until my next video, my friends, take care, and I'll talk to you soon.